Kings 5:13 through 18. King Solomon raised a levy out of all Israel, and the levy was 30,000 men. So while we see in Scripture how he taxed, we also see here how he drew 30,000 men out of Israel to work. We see it probably been anybody who is fit, anybody who is able to do this. He sent them to Lebanon 10,000 a month by courses. A month they were in Lebanon, 2 months at home. And Adoniram was over the men to subject their forced labor. So this guy was put in a very high position to watch these 30,000 men. He probably worked the rotation, made sure they showed up, rotated like they were supposed to. They worked one out of every 3 months on the temple. So we see here that that was done. This man who was put in charge, Adoniram, would have been carefully chosen for this. He would have been a good, hard worker, been somebody Solomon could have trusted to get the job done, make sure these people did what they were supposed to. So they were in Lebanon. This was to help with the supplies gathering, not for the building of the temple, just for the supply gathering. Then Solomon had 70,000 who bore burdens, and 80,000 who were stonecutters in the mountains. So everybody is probably involved with this. Every able-bodied man. We see as the church today, we all play a pivotal part. Oftentimes people don't play that part, so the church ain't able to work as it should be able to. We don't got somebody like Solomon standing over us telling us our duty to do. Oftentimes we neglect the duty we're given. But we all got a part to play in the building of the church. Verse 16. Besides Solomon's chief officers who were over the work, 3,300 who bore rule. So he put people in charge of them. The one guy wasn't just in charge of those over in Lebanon. These people were in charge of the people doing everything else. Over the people who labored in the work. The king commanded that they hewed out great stones, costly stones, to lay the foundation of the house with worked stone. Foundation's important. The foundation ain't solid, the building's going to fall. Our foundation as Christians isn't like it needs to be on something solid. It needs to be on the rock. It needs to be on Christ. That way we can grow and stay steady because the foundation's firm. We ain't gonna get knocked off. If our foundation's built on this world, eventually we'll crumble. If our foundation's built on something else, we will crumble. But if our foundation's built on Christ, we may get swept away, but the foundation's still there. Something better may be built by the Lord in its place for us. Solomon's builders and Hiram's builders and the Gibeonites did fashion them and prepared the timber and the stones to build the house. So all this is done simply for the preparation of the building. The building ain't even started yet. Solomon knew this was an important task. Solomon knew it was something worth getting all the people involved. Now it's important to know, as many people as he got involved in building the temple, Solomon would have had to go to war, which God spared him from that. The temple would have been ceased being built because the numbers were so great. The military would have been all perhaps of the men. But the Lord kept him doing what he had him to do because Solomon focused on him. Now, if Solomon wouldn't have focused on the building, then man would have been used elsewhere. We all got a duty to help build up the church. Are we actually going out and doing it? Is what we need to ask ourselves.